My name is Steve Zeltzer. I'm with No Nuke's Action Committee, a member of the Pacific Media Workers Guild, and also with the United Front Committee for a Labor Party. And here we're here today at the Oakland State Building, the office of Senator Nancy Skinner, to call on her to stop this SB 846, this bill to give $1.4 billion to PG&E to keep the Diablo Canyon nuclear plant going. Now, why would we give $1.4 billion to PG&E, and they're doing it secretly? We only received notice a few days ago about the hearings. The bill was only printed on Sunday, and it's going to be voted on Wednesday. We demand that there be a democratic process for the people of California to have hearings and a proper overview of this. Why is this done in secrecy? It's a stealth attack by the PG&E, the nuclear industry, and we believe that it's unconscionable that Senator Nancy Skinner would be part of this really conspiracy to prevent the people of California from finding out about what PG&E is doing and giving $1 billion for it to them. PG&E has been convicted of killing people. They've been convicted of starting fires. They were convicted in San Bruno of not properly testing the gas lines. And we believe that this company and the executive should be in jail. That's where they belong. Instead, what is happening is that they're being rewarded. And they're being rewarded at the same time that Governor Newsom and the state of California, through the California Public Utility Commission, is trying to stop solar panels. Now, if you have $1.4 billion to spend, why not do it for solarization in California? Put solar panels up. And the reason they don't want to do that is because they're controlled by the utility industry. They're controlled by the owners of PG&E. And we're saying enough of that. We're saying that we need to have really money going into solar so California can be nuclear free and isn't reliant on fossil fuels. And we can do that with the great sun we have. We have a natural sun that can be used to produce electricity. So why not use the $1.4 billion to do that? At the same time, there's a plan to have more fossil-free material, and this keeping Diablo Canyon open will actually impede going to non-fossil fuel, going away from fossil fuel and nuclear power. So this issue is critical, and we're demanding that this bill be rejected. There's going to be a vote on Wednesday, and because of the lack of notice to the people of California, most people don't even know that this is happening. So here we have a bill to give $1.4 billion to PG&E to keep the Diablo Canyon nuclear plant going, and most people don't even know about it. And this is really a slap in the face of the people of California. It shows that Nancy Skinner, who's chair of the Budget Committee and chair of the Joint Budget Committee for the Senate and the Assembly, has been going along with this scam, really. She has kept people from knowing what's going on. To only have 2 days of hearings without proper notice. So we hold her responsible, and we hold any other assemblyman or senator in California responsible if they vote for this scam. We're demanding that they not vote for it, and that this $1.4 billion, if they have billions to throw around, use it for solar, use it for power that's going to be efficient and not a threat to the people of California. We know there's a fault, an earthquake fault on Diablo Canyon. Why would we keep the plant going? There was an agreement that was made over many years with labor, with the government, with consumers to shut down the plant. So we're paying for it, actually. We, the public, are paying to decommission the plant, and now they want to spend $1.4 million to keep it going. So double tax. What the hell is going on? It'll be the ratepayers of California who pay the cost of that. When PG&E commits crimes and kills people and creates fires, it's the public that are paying, and they're not being held criminally responsible for what they're doing. Here's some other speakers. We have Jan, who will speak.
Thank you, Steve. Jan Warren from Walnut Creek. I'm with the Interfaith Climate Action Network of Contra Costa County. And I was online listening to the Budget and Finance Committee hearing yesterday for hours, and listening to Senator Newsom, who's a Republican, who said, you know, why is it you never let us be part of the process just because you have a majority? And I think as a democracy, we're at risk. We can disagree, but we need to be doing things transparently and openly And we talk about this 72-hour notice. Well, Sunday is not a day to be sharing, news. It's not a news day. And this bill, SB 846, is all wrong. Many years and time was spent negotiating the decommissioning. It's had problems. We need to move to our clean energy. Now is the best time. We've got extra dollars from the state, extra dollars from the feds. We can move quickly. It allows us to move much more quickly to our clean energy. And this is simply more dollars in the pocket of the corrupt PG&E who passes everything along, and we bail them out, and the taxpayer pays for everything. My husband and I put solar on our roof 5 years ago, and we've been gradually decommissioning our gas and everything to go clean energy. And we've been following with Solar Alliance all this stuff out of the CPUC. And the last we heard, within a few weeks ago was, well, looks like we're going to have another year before anything's, decided. And then this backdoor agreement with a handful of people is just democratically wrong, and it's not fair, and we can do better, and we should do better. And there's a beautiful site here of the canyon. But it's dangerous, and it's had issues, and they say that, well, we don't want to have any brownouts, we don't have any blackouts. We don't have to. We can move to distributed energy with microgrids, and we can move quickly and put up our windmills and so forth. And you got people all over the world who are dying right now in tsunamis and other natural disasters because of the carbon emission. And we're a big part of the problem. Let's be part of the solution. So I asked Senator Skinner to stop this, let it go through the right process. We have time for it to come back, go through the right process in 2023. But quit all this shady backroom dealing. Thanks.
One of the things that we can talk about today is that we have some experience with nuclear plants blowing up. In fact, right now, today, there's a threat of the Ukrainian nuclear plants blowing up or exploding because of the war. But also, we had man-made disasters in Fukushima, which is still burdening us 11 years after. And joining us is Chisu Hamada, who's with the No Nukes Action, is going to talk about the implications of funding Diablo Canyon going after the lessons of Fukushima.
PG&E knows it is time to close Diablo Canyon. The Diablo Canyon is too old to continue. It was designed for the 40 years lifelong, and then this old nuclear power plant have so many problems. So PG&E knows it's cost too much to operate. So it's time to close. So that the California register agreed 2016. So they decided to close to 2024 and 2025. Then now they want to extend their life. This is total betrayal for the residents of the California state. This has been really, residents of California has been paying for the decommission closure already. Then now comes to extend to renewal for the next extended license. That they need a lot of money to repair, to make upgrade this old Diablo Canyon. And besides, if this extended to beyond 2025, then so much radioactive waste accumulate. We have no solution about this nuclear radioactive waste. And then besides, this Diablo Canyon, standing very near the active earthquake fault. So I really want people remember about 3 Mile Island, Chernobyl, and Fukushima. At the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant, the operator TEPCO knew this huge tsunami might be possible and coming. So 2006 and 2008, they had even planned to build huge, strong wall for preventing the huge tsunami, but they didn't build because they didn't want to spend any money. So it's happened after even 2 months. TEPCO hid the truth. TEPCO didn't use the word of the meltdown. And they made this Fukushima meltdown catastrophe made light as possible. And those, government and TEPCO's deception to people in Japan and to the world continue. Even the deceased former Prime Minister Abe told the lie to the world that Fukushima accident is contained. There are no danger of the health in the past, present, and future. So people believed, and then Tokyo Olympic was held, and people's attention is really away from Fukushima. But please remember, do you know 300 young people have thyroid cancer and had a surgery? One or both thyroid have been removed already. And then remember, Japan is still the declaration, under the declaration of the state of nuclear emergency, so that the government put the maximum safe dosage of the radiation 1 millisievert per year up to 20 millisievert per year. Under this emergency state, government are pushing people go back to the area which are not still safe yet. Sure, the young people with young little kids never go back there because they know it is still risk of health. So those deception is continue. Even the last year, government announced the dump the treated but still contaminated water from the more than 1,000 tons from Fukushima's area to the Pacific Ocean. But government, TEPCO, promised never release the water without consent of local people and Fukushima fishermen. But they betrayed them again. They announced last year and released from next year, spring. First, they said after treated water is very safe, no radioactive water. But then they have to admit that after disclosure of the data, that there is still tritium and more than 20 of radioactive materials there. So they now said, okay, before release, they're gonna process again by ALPS, Advanced Liquid Process System. But then they never tell the how much amount. What is the kinds of radioactive materials are going to release? It is very unclear, and then very deceptive. So that's you want the California people want to happen? No way. The Diablo Canyon is already dangerous and fragile. We should not extend the life past 2025 more than we should shut down Diablo Canyon as soon as possible. Thank you.
I just want to have a shout out to my own legislators, Senator Steve Glazier and Timothy Grayson, Assembly member, that I'm asking for a no support on this SB 846. And I hope you'll all go out and contact your legislators and let them know that you don't support this. And let's start over again in 2023 and do it right. And let's continue to move towards clean energy. It's not just the people here that are standing here. We've got trees and flowers and sun and sky and air, and all of it, all of creation needs to be saved. And let's not forget that.
People of California have to ask, why did this bill go in secret? Why is it so secret? We want to know, Nancy Skinner, why did you keep this a secret from the people of California? You're chair of the Senate Budget Committee, and you kept this bill secret to give PG&E $1.4 billion. Why haven't you allowed hearings, proper hearings, for people to ask questions, for the residents and the people to know? So what we're saying here is that this bill is a 846, which actually was gutted. It was another bill which the legislature dropped, gutted, and then put in new language to give PG&E $1.4 billion. What kind of democracy is this? We have to ask Senator Skinner, is this your idea of democracy? That you take an old bill, you gut it, and then you put in language to give PG&E $1.4 billion, and you think that's democracy? Senator, it's not democracy. Stop SB 846. That's what we're saying. The people of California cannot afford to keep this plant going, the nuclear plant. We're already paying, the ratepayers are already paying to decommission it. So Governor Newsom, who has been sold out really to the PG&E, has covered for their corruption, has actually allowed them to kill people in California from fires, from explosions, without any criminal liability. The executives of PG&E should be in prison. That's where they belong. Instead, we're going to give state money, $1.4 billion, to the PG&E for more profits for this company. I mean, they cannot take care of the property that they have. They cannot defend the residents, the people of California, because of fires, because of explosions. And we're going to give them $1.4 billion. So Nancy Skinner, who's chair of the Senate Budget Committee and the Joint Budget Committee of the Senate and Assembly, she has to be held accountable. Why has she allowed this bill to go forward? People need to call her office. People need to call their senator and representative and demand they vote no. Now, they have to get 2/3 vote on Wednesday to take this thing forward. So we're saying everyone should oppose it. Everyone should demand that it be closed. The people of California deserve solar energy. The people of California, and it's already growing. There's 70,000 workers who are in the solar industry, who are building solar. So solar can provide protection. The same in Japan. Solar can provide energy for Japan. What the Japanese government, like the American government, is doing is saying, let's build more nuclear plants, even though there's no place to store the waste that's come. We cannot afford another Fukushima. We cannot afford another 3 Mile Island. And Nancy Skinner and Gavin Newsom are putting the people of California into dire threats. That's what they're doing by supporting this SB 846. And we're saying enough is enough. Call your senator, call your assembly person, and demand that they vote no. And we have to hold them accountable. If they push this bill through to give $1.4 billion to PG&E, they have to be held personally accountable, because they say they're for the people of California, yet what they're doing is actually stabbing the people of California in the back. They're betraying democracy. They're betraying the people of California.